Hey, it's Nikki Jensen.
And Brie Piccone.
And we're
Late to the Party.
A weekly podcast about film, fashion, and pop culture from two best friends mentally at North Shore High School in 2004.
Get in, loser. Let's go shopping.
Is this movie the most quoted movie of all time?
It has to be. At least one of them. Like, there's so many quotable moments.
So many that are like in young people's vernacular.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I don't know. It's a movie that came out 20 years ago, and
I can't
we're
believe
still
it's
quoting
been 20
it.
years.
You go, Glen Coco.
You go. I know, that's where my mind goes too.
Yes. But yeah, today we are talking about the 2014 comedy Mean Girls. Mm-hmm. Just in time for the Mean Girls musical, which I refuse to see.
I have mixed feelings on it. Like, I think on one hand, it's like, oh, Tina Fey's behind this. That sounds fun. But then I'm like, does this need to happen? And it's weird that there's like some of the same cast, but not, like Tim Meadows and I forget who else, but
Tina Fey.
Yeah.
I mean, I have mixed feelings about it. I think I love Renee Rapp's voice. Mm-hmm. So it's nothing against that. And I know that the musical exists and, that was on Broadway,
right,
et cetera, et cetera. So I don't think it takes anything away from the original Mean Girls because this is one of, like we were talking about, the most quoted teen movie.
Yeah.
One of the best teen movies.
I just don't think it's going to be as big as the original Mean Girls.
Yeah. It's just, I have a little bit of like nostalgia fatigue.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, going into 2024, I'm like, yeah, okay, Mean Girls musical, that's fine. I mean, it's not my jam. I'm not going to see it, but I'm ready to like have some new things. Because
yes,
even though we were in elementary school, when Mean Girls came out, I remember it being like a turning point in culture in a weird way, at least for teens and tweens.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I just, and at the time people were like, oh my God, it's a smart teen comedy. And it just made so many stars like Rachel McAdams and Lindsay Lohan. And it really just put so many people on the map and so many like ideas of what a teen movie could be that I'm just like, right on. Mean Girls legacy. That's cool. But I want some new things like Mean Girls in 2024.
That's what I was thinking. Like, maybe you could do something Mean Girls inspired, Like, I don't know. I agree with you. Nostalgia fatigue is real. Like,
so real.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know. Where does it stop? Is nothing safe?
I guess not. Not if you make it a musical.
Just make everything a musical. I don't think everything should be a musical. Like, I like musicals, but like, I don't think everything.
But at what cost?
Yeah, what cost?
Yes. But we're not talking about Mean Girls the musical. We are staying in 2004 land.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we're going to discuss Mean Girls in all its glory. I don't know. It all came back to me because Mean Girls is a movie that I don't watch on the regular, but I definitely love. I loved at the time. I
feel like it made an impact. And I own a copy. Like, it's one of those that like I would want to like just have.
Yes. I mean, I own the Steelbook. Yeah. Like, of course I like Mean Girls, but it's not a go-to comfort movie. But maybe it should be.
Maybe it should be.
Because on this rewatch, I really like it. What's your relationship with Mean Girls?
Yeah. I mean, I saw it when it came out. I've always loved it. I remember like it just leaving an impact. Talking about it being quotable, like just
a sleepover staple for sure.
Yeah.
But also people quote this movie all the time and don't even realize it.
Yeah. I think also it's like relatable. Like Cady's a relatable character. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I mean, this movie's based on a book called Bees and Wannabes, mm-hmm. which Tina Fey read. And it's like a nonfiction work, but she adapted it into Mean Girls. And she like included a lot of names that she like knew from high school. And, I guess Janice Ian is kind of an amalgamation of her and some people she knows. And,
I love that.
Yeah, I do too. And I think this movie, it was funny. I was watching the special features last night.
Yes.
And it's funny, the author of Queen Bees and Wannabes talking about Mean Girls and the psychology of teenage girls in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And upon this rewatch, I did think about that a lot more. Not to like lack all the fun.
The psychology of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's pretty real. Like I remember like in my high school anyway, there were cliques and like sitting at lunch was a big deal, like trying to figure out where to sit, like feeling that like impending doom.
Where'd you fit into this?
On my first day, I sat with like the nerds and geeks. the Twilight people, but they were upperclassmen. They were really nice. And I think that started my interest in the Twilight books because they were reading it. But I wasn't like, with the popular crowd. I didn't even, you know what I mean? Like it just, I was like, oh, this is awkward. Like I'll just sit somewhere. And they were nice. They're like, oh, you can sit here. I was like, okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
You can sit with us.
Yeah, they're like, you can sit with us. I'm like, are you sure? All right. I'm like, otherwise I guess I'll just eat in the bathroom. Like,
do people actually do that?
I don't know. I don't think I actually would eat in the bathroom though. That just sounds gross.
Very unsanitary.
Yeah.
But who's to say? I know where I went to high school, we didn't really have those divided cliques. But I remember that impending doom of being a freshman and the first day walking into the cafeteria and thinking, because I saw Mean Girls like way back in the day, that it was going to be like that.
Maybe that's why I had that fear too. I'm like, wait, is it because I saw the movie?
But it's in every teen movie, it's a trope that is, I guess, true to your point. But I remember just like walking in the cafeteria and like turning right back around. And I remember there were so many kids that just like ate in the library, just like sat on the floor and just hung out.
Very
and ate.
Rory Gilmore.
Very much so. I was just like, I'm going to exclude myself from this narrative, but for better or for worse. I was like, I've seen Mean Girls. I know how this is.
Yeah, so you just went to the library.
Yeah, well, which I know in myself, in my heart of hearts, if I leaned into cliques, I'd be Gretchen Wieners.
Yeah.
Like, even last night, I turned over to my fiance, Ben, and I was like, why am I Gretchen?
I love Gretchen. I love how she tries to make fetch happen. I thought it was cool,
Yeah, fetch. Seems British.
British, yeah. It'll catch on if you say it enough times. I still try to make fetch happen.
Oh, yeah. Fetching. That's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'd say justice for Gretchen Wieners.
I agree. Yeah.
But also Karen. I don't know. My takes on this movie maybe not hot.
Yeah.
They're not hot
cool
takes. I'm like, hot take, Brie. Mean Girls is good. And it's better to be a nice person than a mean girl.
Yeah. Just like the message.
Well, I feel like... And maybe I'll ask you. We're not on a podcast today. Maybe I'll ask you.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
But I'll ask you this or pose this question to you. So I've heard a lot of internet discourse in the last couple years where they're like Gretchen Wieners and Fetch, they really are trying to make Regina George as the real victim happen, which I do not see.
Yeah.
And I just don't understand. Can you please try to explain this to me?
All right. So I will say personally, first couple rounds, like back in the day watching Mean Girls, I was like, oh no, it's definitely like Cady's definitely like the victim, or like everyone's been victimized by Regina George. I mean, by show of hands,
Yes.
But I remember like, I don't know how many years ago, maybe it was like, I don't know, like the late 2010s or something, just
the best of times, the worst of times.
Yeah, I remember revisiting it and being like, wait, is Cady, like, is she just as bad? Is she worse? Is she, I don't know, like, is Regina the victim? Because she's the one that gets, like, injured and hit, but is that karma? I mean, yeah. I mean, watching it now, I'm like, I don't really feel like she is the victim. I think, she is and she isn't. Like, it's kind of, I think it's just karma. But, yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone deserves to get hit by a bus. Like, I just think I don't know if she is the real victim. Like, I think we're all victims of the.
Oh yes, which I want to get into a lot more. So put a pin in that.
Yeah.
But what I will say about Regina George is this is how she copes. Like being a mean girl, which I will admit, I was a little bit of a mean girl back in the day. I have the potential to be a mean girl. It's just the way of like fitting into society, the way of being mean so you don't get hurt, so you can't be vulnerable. It's just a defense mechanism.
Didn't Tina Fey say that she was a mean girl as well, which is so mind-blowing because when I look at her, I don't think, well, like.
I think it's like the, Liz Lemon, 30 Rock thing, that episode where she's like, she's had this narrative her adult life in her head that she was being bullied and whatever, and she goes back to her high school and she realizes she was bullied.
Yeah, did she write that from experience too? I just think that's interesting. Like, I think we've all bullied someone though at some point, unfortunately. Like it's just like a trickle down effect.
Not revolutionary. Also not a hot take, but hurt people.
Yeah. True. Hurt people. Yeah, those are facts.
And people are people.
Yeah.
Life is.
Yeah. That's true.
No one's gonna know.
I know, no one's gonna understand that. One person might.
I know one person, but doesn't listen anymore.
Well, when he does.
Yes. We'll make it our new Instagram bio.
Yeah. Our new motto.
Yeah.
For life. Hurt people.
People are people.
Life is. Period. Yeah.
But
what
yeah.
were we saying?
Well, there's a whole psychology. Well, it's based on a book based on the psychology of teenage girls, but Mean Girls is this perfect just personification of, or exemplification, whatever the word is, of that.
Yeah.
It really talks about the dichotomy and just, you know, the whole hierarchy.
I was going to say the hierarchy.
Of teens.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. You don't have to be like the popular crowd to have a hierarchy.
No.
You know? I, like, in high school, I knew some people that were not, like, super popular, but they were still bossy. And there was a hierarchy. You know? When I sat at a different lunch table, like...
Not in high school, but I remember I was never in, like, a proper sorority in college. I was, like, in the theater sorority, which doesn't really count. But I remember being courted by so many sororities and going to, like...
They were after you.
They were after me.
You were like Cady.
Yes. But like I would go to these parties or I'd go to certain, you know, like events and right away you spot the Duff or the designated ugly fat friend.
Yeah,
you don't say these terms anymore.
No, I knew what you meant, but like I just like in the sorority there's one person.
There's one or two people or there's always the Duff that you're like, oh, that's interesting. Like, they would be really sweet, but they're, like, corrupted by this mean system. Or it would be, like, this, like, really meek, shy girl who they're belittling and, like, bullying, and she's, like, lower on the end, and they just keep her around to, like, because they have a complex.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh, I'll do whatever because, like, I want to be included and accepted. And it gave me the ick.
Is it kind of like, you know, like Regina George, she's like, makes all these rules. It's like, oh, yeah, well, I mean, on Wednesdays we wear pink. That sounds fun and all, but it's like, you can only wear a ponytail once a week. You know? So today must be your day. Oh, you can't wear sweatpants. You can't, you know, like all these, like, you can't buy a skirt without running it. Like,
buy her. You can't wear hoop earrings because they're Regina's thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, there's like, I don't know, especially girls. Girls are so weird.
Yeah.
And like we were talking about off mic, like even into your 20s, you would think things are different, but they're not.
Yeah, that's true.
But nothing is sadder than being a 28-year-old girl and like still running around like you're one of the plastics.
Yeah.
It's just not cute.
Who cares? I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like this movie too, you know, not to just jump all the way to the end.
Oh, yeah.
But like the hierarchy gets dismantled at some point. And I feel like that's a good, like, I do think like in high school it is not super realistic because I think it does stick around a bit, but I think it's a good message for life because like there is no, you know, that stuff doesn't matter. It's like Mickey Mouse mess.
100%. And like kudos to Tina Fey and Mark Waters who directed it and just all of, you know, especially Tina Fey for making such a smart film where the message is very clear, even though it might have gotten corrupted throughout the years. People have taken it and mixed with it, but you can't mix up the messaging when you actually watch the movie.
Yeah.
And it is like a great tale to grow up watching, but also seeing it as a young adult or as an adult and being like, yeah, that's true. That still rings true today and it's smart. And like, I remember being a teen girl, but I also know now, you know, what I know now.
Yeah.
It's smart.
I think so. Yeah. I feel like we're all victims to this like imaginary
like system.
Yeah.
But damn, the man saved the empire.
Yeah. It's like, it's, you know, I think about High School Musical, like stick to the status quo. Like, you know, people want to put you in boxes and,
yeah,
you know,
it's like, no.
Yeah.
Except that actually that song was saying yes, but no.
Yeah.
We also have mixed messaging.
Mixed messaging.
We're like the discourse around Mean Girls. We really took the wrong thing.
Did we? Yeah. Did I take the wrong?
I mean, it is funny comparing Mean Girls to High School Musical, which you should not compare.
Yeah.
High School Musical has you rooting for the Regina George. Like, Sharpay is the victim.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think, like, at first, though, I feel like upon first watch, I definitely was, like, more sympathetic to Gabriella. But then upon, like, a few more viewings, I came around to see how, I think that is a turn, like, where, yeah, Sharpay is the victim there.
Yes.
She's the one that gets socially ostracized. Like, I don't know. Gabriella takes over all this, you know.
She does, and Sharpay works very hard. This is not a podcast about High School Musical. This is my
way to talk about High School Musical, finally. My agenda, my High School Musical agenda.
We'll have to do them all.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, I'm here because I'll ride for Sharpay until the day I die. Just like I will ride for Lindsay Lohan. For better or for worse, that's my girl.
Yes. I love Lindsay.
I do too.
Always have, always will.
I mean,
Team Lindsay.
Oh, for sure. I mean, ever since The Parent Trap, but I don't know. People will argue, what do you think, that this is her best role?
I don't know about her best. I don't know. She's done so many things. She's great. Like, she's been working since she was a kid. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to compare. Like, I mean, I really liked her in Freaky Friday. I mean, I like her in everything that she's in. Like, she was really good in this, but I don't know if it's like, it's not her worst role though either. Like, I don't know.
I'm having flashbacks, like war flashbacks to Georgia Rule. I'm like, no, it's not her worst role.
But I don't know what her best. I'm trying to think. Like, okay, she was in so many like teen movies as well. You know,
yeah. Not to turn into like an old person, like back in my day, but like I don't know for people even like a little younger than us. I don't know if people that are younger can understand Lindsay Lohan. Like, right out of the gate in 1998, she makes her film debut in The Parent Trap, playing dual roles, which had grown-ass adults believing she was twins. And not just in a cute way. They were like, these two twins are like high-caliber actors, like so charming, so enigmatic, so good.
Yeah.
And then, you know, she does like the Disney Channel TV movie thing, which Life Size is my jam.
I love Life Size.
We haven't talked about it yet, but it's Chef's Kiss. And, you know, next film, like proper theatrical film, is Freaky Friday.
Kills it.
So good. Like, Jamie Lee Curtis got a Golden Globe nomination, didn't she, for that role? Which Lindsay Lohan equally is great.
Yeah.
And then Mean Girls. And I know at the time there were so many things. Like, 2004 is such a wild year for Lindsay Lohan. I was looking back. I did some research. Even though I lived it as a little like 9-10-year-old stan of Lindsay.
Yeah.
But this was a crazy year. Do you remember Lindsay Lohan's 2004?
Is this when she was partying and stuff? Like, was she hanging out with Paris Hilton? Is this that time when they would like party together?
Okay, so the year starts out February 2004. She's in a feud with Hilary Duff over Aaron Carter. Mean Girls comes out. Well, Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen comes out and changes my life. But I'm not in this story. It's all about Lindsay. So we go to April. Lindsay Lohan hosts Saturday Night Live. Iconic. You get that iconic Debbie Downer where they're in Disney World and everyone busts out a character.
I love that. I love Rachel Dratch.
Same. But yeah, Mean Girls comes out, and same to like the Parent Trap narrative. Everyone's like, oh my God, Mean Girls is so good. Lindsay Lohan is like the next big thing. It's, you know, she's a major. And then I don't think things take a turn for the worst per se, but the later half of the year, she comes out with her new album,
Yes, that's right. I always forget that she has that like singing career.
Rumors. Have you heard of her?
Yeah.
And then she starts partying with Lindsay or with
With her other twin.
With her other twin, Lindsay Lohan, and Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie, and kind of is in that scene. And by the end of 2004, she has this party girl persona. And then, 2005 happens, and she goes from this like freckled faced, like redhead, like just girl next door persona to waif thin, blonde hair, known for partying, gets hospitalized for quote unquote exhaustion. Like, that's when the narrative really shifts for her.
Yeah.
I don't
and
say
they're not
that
very
disparage.
kind to her either. Like, she doesn't bounce back too quickly.
I mean, arguably Lindsay Lohan hasn't bounced back. I mean, maybe
I think she's
last
starting
year?
to. I think she's bouncing back. Like, she seems like she's doing really good. I hope she is, at least. Like, I hope it's real,
Oh, I think so. I just think the media narrative about her really like hit her hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't say that to disparage Lindsay Lohan or be a Debbie Downer, but she just had a wild ride that it's hard to believe just kind of
And she was so young.
happened.
Like,
So
and she
young.
had like, it was like peak career, like at such a young age. Like,
Yes. Well, Mean Girls hitting where you are at the peak.
mm-hmm.
And I think Lindsay Lohan's the perfect protagonist and the perfect Cady Heron.
Yeah. I know. I guess Rachel McAdams was supposed to maybe be Cady, and like Lindsay Lohan was maybe going to be Regina, like at some point, or they were going for those roles, and they're like, no.
No.
It's got to be the other way, which I think makes more sense.
100%. That's a case of, because didn't Lindsay Lohan really want to be at one point Regina George?
Mm-hmm.
That's at one point where like a higher up being like, no, you got to keep your like girl next door persona, because it's so much better when Cady turns.
Yeah, and then because she does kind of become Regina anyways in a way, but
And it's so much of that. The reason why Lindsay Lohan, in my opinion, is so great as Cady is because of her naivete.
Yeah.
And Lindsay Lohan really portrays that well. And I think there's an element. I know also Rachel McAdams was 26 at this time.
She was a little, yeah.
And she does come off as definitely not older looking, but like older, like mature.
Maybe mature. Yeah, the way she carries herself maybe is a little different.
Definitely. So, yeah, I don't know how that would have worked.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to think the roles reversed, like Lindsay Lohan, like bossing, Rachel McAdams around. But she was also the youngest on set, I think, because she was still going to school.
Probably.
I'm pretty sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's also crazy to see in like interviews Lindsay Lohan being like, I decided to be Cady because of my image. What if my little sister saw me being a mean girl? And I'm like, that's really sweet.
That's sweet.
Yeah. I used to love seeing like Lindsay Lohan with like her little siblings.
That's right. I forget that she has like
I know.
little siblings.
I know. It was so.
Not just Lindsay.
I know. Well, she's like the star.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, Mean Girls is wild. Back to Mean Girls.
Back to me. I know. I'm like, we could go on about Lindsay.
Just great. But yeah.
Oh, what about Amanda Seyfried?
Yeah.
That's her. This is her first major role.
So good as Karen.
Yeah. She's hilarious. I love her.
It's was it 30% chance it's already raining?
It's already raining.
But Amanda Seyfried's another one of those actors that's really good at playing dumb, but also just really good. Like her steady rise, it's always really nice to see. Like I love when I see Amanda Seyfried in a role.
Same. I always get excited.
And she's like a slow burn actor. Like after Mean Girls, she doesn't really pop off, but every role I love her in. I love Mamma Mia.
I love Mamma Mia. So different too. Like she's not Karen in you know what I mean? But she has a charm about her.
Something about you just want to see her on screen.
Yeah.
Same with Rachel McAdams though. I love her wearing like a really expensive blonde wig for this.
Oh yeah, isn't it like $10,000?
Yeah.
Like that's so because she didn't want to like dye her hair blonde.
Which right on.
Yeah.
But that wig's fabulous.
It is. Yeah, all the budget went to that wig.
Truly. But yeah, this was also a big year for her because The Notebook comes out right after this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a big year for everyone.
I know. I like 2004 really gave us the goods. I don't think we realized it at the time.
I love Amy Poehler as like the cool mom.
I love when she's like, "Oh, you keep me young."
She's have you seen like the deleted scenes with her or behind or like the bloopers with Amy Poehler, because she's like stealing the show.
I think I have a little bit. I have in my notes. I don't remember exact moments, but I do remember upon this rewatch and then watching like what I saw of the special features, Amy Poehler I love her in these like 2000s side roles.
Mm-hmm.
Like between this and her role with Will Arnett in Blades of Glory as like the ice skaters.
Yes.
Yeah, just something about her so funny.
She's so funny. Yeah, I love like in the bloopers they show her like, you know, when Regina's like going out like to is it the spring fling?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. And she's taking, or no, maybe it's Halloween. It's Halloween because she's like wearing a slutty outfit and she's taking pictures. There's like a scene where she hands the camera to the dad and she goes over with Regina and like puts her leg up, but it's like, it's really tacky. Like it's not exactly sexy, but she's trying to be sexy. And like little things like that, like just, I don't know.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's so true to form. Like I think all of us growing up have known the mom who's trying to be a cool mom and like retain that like young person glory.
Yeah.
You know, that hierarchy of girlhood's so intoxicating to them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, it's okay if you drink in the house. Wink. You know?
Yeah. It's like a little bit cringe though. But it's like, I like how they make fun of that. I don't know. It's like fun in this movie. It's
cool moms are red flags unless they're Amy Poehler. Then I'm like, yes.
Yeah. If it's Amy Poehler, she gets pass.
She does. Oh my God. The little sister of Regina dancing to Milkshake, which was me. I was probably that age when Mean Girls came out.
Brings up
yeah,
the yard.
Just watching Girls Gone Wild and like lifting up her shirt. So
that was
good.
you.
That was me.
Yeah, I feel that. I do think about that though. I'm like, what is this messaging? Like Girls Gone Wild in the background. Like,
oh yeah. I like this was the first time watching Mean Girls where I was so much more clued into that.
Yeah,
like the toxic messaging that like just young girls, not teen girls, but young girls, get like indoctrinated with upon birth almost. Yeah, it makes you think. I don't know. I was like, oh wow, Mean Girls is deep. Like they were trying to say something. Like truly, it makes me think of. Have you seen online this like discourse right now, like the drunk elephant girls?
I don't know, like the drunk elephant face products. So these like a lot of TikToks and a lot of online discourse now is like all these 10 to 12-year-old girls, like I think made famous really by like Northwest and whatever. And that one girl that says the mean things and puts on her like glow watermelon facial stuff. Yeah.
But a lot of 10 to 12-year-old girls are coming into Sephora and just like their parents are buying thousands of dollars worth of Drunk Elephant, which is like retinols and stuff that like young girls should not be putting on their face anyways.
Yeah.
But like it's a thing. And growing up being a young girl in the 2000s, being a young girl in the 2000s, but you were too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, I was. Yeah.
Yeah. Being those Regina's younger sister's age in the 2000s, like, it was like you were being indoctrinated to this culture of like, you have to look a certain way. And, you know, it's like you want to be older. I think a lot of generations before us didn't get that as much. But I think growing up when we did and people growing up now, even more so, experience this idea that there's no, like they were talking about with these drunk elephant girls, that there's no place for tweens to go. Like when we were tweens, there was the Limited 2 or like a Justice or a Club
my favorite. Lulu. Yeah. They don't have that?
They don't have that. So they're going to Sephora and buying Drunk Elephant and probably destroying their like skin barrier. I don't know what that does to a young girl's face to put retinol on it.
You really don't need that at that age. Like,
but it is like setting, like it's priming them up for a world of hurt.
Expectations. Yeah. That's crazy. So that's like a TikTok trend though that's happening.
Well, yeah, like even, but in like real life, like you know,
Yeah.
it's gone from online to
real life.
real life.
Dang, that makes me kind of sad. I'm like, dang.
Truly.
Yeah. I think I wasn't thinking about that kind of stuff. But
You were blessed. I feel like I was. I always wanted to be older than I was.
really?
Yeah.
I mean, I did at some points. Like, I think when I got like to be an older teen, I started thinking about like wrinkles or things because I saw my aunt was older too. But you know, like you think about creams, like like things. I mean, now I don't really care about that stuff, but like, you know, there's like a point. There is this pressure to like when you think about aging, even though you're like so young, you're like 16, and you're like, why am I thinking about wrinkles? Like, why would I need this pressure on me? Like. To always look youthful. It's like you are youthful. Just enjoy it. Like,
Yeah. No, I mean, there's so much expectations. But this movie like really hits the nail on the head with all that.
it does.
But on a lighter note.
On a later note, I know. I'm like, it's gonna get dark.
Which, speaking of aging, like we were talking about, this movie did come out in 2004.
Mm-hmm.
I remember where I was when this came out.
Where were you?
Where I grew up, there was a new movie theater that just opened up. I begged my dad. I was like, you gotta take me to see Mean Girls with my friends. I have to go see Mean Girls. And we got to the movie theater, and I guess a mix of the hype and being like a new theater, it was sold out.
Aw.
So we decided to watch 13 Going on 30, and it became one of my favorite films. And
That's a good film. So that was in the theaters at the same time. That's so cool.
Oh my God. And it was between Mean Girls, 13 Going on 30, and I think New York Minute. Either New York Minute or Ella Enchanted. Don't quote me on it. But like,
why don't we have more movies like that kind of selection now?
The goods. I mean, can I list off the movies that came out in 2004?
Please.
Well, first of all, Shrek 2.
Woo! My favorite.
Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
What? That's like the best Harry Potter movie.
It is. Alfonso Cuarón too. Like
it's artsy. Like it's doing something.
Very good.
Stands out.
That Time Turner. Gary Oldman is Sirius Black. Just the goods. Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
The Incredibles. Shark Tale.
Oh yeah.
Ocean's 12. But also Catwoman.
Yes. My favorite Halle Berry movie.
The Aviator came out. $1 Million Baby.
Oh, that's a good one.
Which I saw you bought that CD in your haul or something.
$1 Million Baby?
That Dollar Tree haul you did, was that there?
It's $1 Million Baby?
Did you buy a CD that was $1 Million Baby or a DVD? Didn't mean to put you on blast.
No, I really don't think so. Unless I did on accident. I know I bought like a random CD that I had no idea what it was. So if it was $1 Million Baby, but I thought it was something like The Sticks or the...
Well, I think that, but I saw something that looked like the back of Hilary Swank's head in $1 Million Baby.
I honestly...
I don't mean to gaslight you.
No, I bought a bunch of like, they were $1 on sale at the Family Dollar, like the after Christmas sale, which who knew Family Dollar even sold like that. Anyway, I don't think I did because I don't know if I'd want to... It's not like I wouldn't want to own that, but it's kind of a depressing movie.
Yes.
Like I remember seeing it once and being like, wow, I never need to see this again. But this was an amazing movie. So I don't know. I don't think so, but now...
I don't know. Maybe that was just my swank senses tingling.
Maybe it was Hilary Swank. I don't remember what I got. I'll be honest.
Did you just black out?
Back. Yeah, I did. It was like 10 minutes before I had to be at work and I was at the Family Dollar.
I do remember, and I know this probably won't make the cut, but I do remember you being like, I got a blast. I gotta go to work. I gotta pick up some quick cat food and go to work.
I did get a bag of cat food there, but I wasn't planning on,
But little did you know, I was like, I went up and
did you see me?
And down. I saw you, and it was, you went to work at, you were scheduled at noon. It was literally like 11:58, and I saw you driving, and I was like, oh no, like, what did Brie do?
It's right next door to where I work, at least,
But I saw you. I was like, Brie's late.
God.
Anyway,
I was buying cat food though. I wasn't just, I didn't make that up. I promise.
You were like, I'm buying cat food. It's code for buying like DVDs at the Family Dollar.
It was worth it.
You got a problem? You were jonesing.
I was.
You were like 10 minutes before work. Like, I gotta get my fix. But yeah, I guess my point of 2004 films is that 2004 films were made different. It was a great year for film.
Yes.
But for 2, this movie, all things considered, hasn't aged.
You know, surprisingly, it has not. Like, it's also really colorful. Like, it's just like, I don't know. I like this movie a lot. It's
great. I mean, I think, not to sound like a broken record, but it's one of the best teen films.
Yeah. And I do think it could be a comfort movie. Like, I don't know why, because I'm with you. Like, I have it. Like, I don't know why I don't watch it more, because it's pretty light overall.
I think it's like me being like, I'm not like my Janice Ian coming out of like, I'm not like other girls. I'm not gonna watch Mean Girls all the time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I feel like Janice is kind of relatable as well.
Truly. Also, like, understandably, I understand Janice Ian, I think, like, on a level that I probably didn't as a child. But yeah, Janice Ian, played by the wonderful Lizzie Kaplan, who's like super gorgeous in real life, but also Janice Ian's not bad looking.
No.
But like, I understand more Janice's hurt from Regina now. And also like the idea of the goth or like the emo girl. But Janice Ian's outfit's kind of 8.
Yeah. No, I loved her fashion. Not gonna lie. I love the layering of the t-shirts over like long sleeve shirts.
Very Heaven by Marc Jacobs.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
yeah,
she's iconic.
In 2024, she's just she's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
For 2004, she was the outsider, but today she's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I understand her on a really deep level.
She's cool.
Speaking of characters, so we have Cady Heron, who comes to North Shore High School, which is like supposed to be like in Evanston, Illinois, like suburbs of Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But she comes from Africa, and she goes to high school for the first time, and she meets Janice and Damien, who kind of give her like the lay of the land.
Yeah, so cool of them too.
Definitely, you know? the coolest people you'd ever meet. They say it themselves. Also, would rather hang out with them. They don't have the rules.
Yeah,
but they kind of do. But they kind of don't, just as much as like in a teen would. You know? But yeah, like Cady kind of gets hung up with all the plastics.
Right. Like this movie got me thinking, like, you know how we're talking about the dangers of method acting?
Yes.
Cady acts like a plastic for so long that she starts to become one. And it starts to like become more of her personality. Like she starts losing herself
to fit in.
And I don't know, but it just made me think. I'm like, is she method acting here? Like, because she didn't really have to be a plastic that hardcore. Like, she didn't put it down at a certain point. You know what I mean?
Well, I think most girls, myself included, method act.
Yeah.
They kind of like method act into roles and whatever to try to like fit in or mold yourself. You're trying on different things. Like, you could even argue that Janice is trying on like a more goth-esque persona or like edgy persona.
Yeah.
Like, we're just kind of fitting into these, like, we're just trying on different costumes.
Yeah.
And we're method acting. Maybe Cady just goes a little too far.
Just a little bit.
Which is the plot of Mean Girls.
Yeah.
But you gotta go too far to know who you are, you know?
Yeah. True. Gotta like ruin everything to figure it all out.
Well, I'm pro that. I'm pro burning a bridge.
Yeah, I gotta burn some
it down. But yeah, so we are introduced to the plastics. Thoughts on the plastics?
Well, I love the way that we're introduced to them because wait, hold on. Let me make sure I don't butcher this.
One time Regina punched me in the face. It was awesome.
It was awesome. I love it. It is Pass That Dutch. Okay, I was trying to remember, like, is it Pass That Dutch or is it Milkshake? Because they're both, I love those songs, but they're at different times. So Pass That Dutch is like the song that plays whenever the plastics walk down the halls, or that like they're in their cheerleading costumes when we're first introduced to them, and it's like in slow-mo and it's like Pass That Dutch is playing. I don't know, it's so iconic.
I thought of you. Also, great song to just play with the plastics walking down the hall. Like, it's later in the movie, but that one shot where Pass That Dutch is playing and like Cady's a part of the plastics group, and all of a sudden she just like falls into the trash can. It's great.
Love it. I love that they're called the plastics.
Yes.
Like, they're looking like little Barbie dolls.
Well, So Mary Jane Fort, talking about the fashion of the plastics, based the plastics off of women in the 1950s, like that housewife aesthetic, but modern day, of course, and then meets Barbie. Which I see. And
I can see that.
The elements that I love of Regina are the edgier elements. Like that slogan tee, like a little bit dramatic that she wears to the mall with like the leather mini skirt.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
There's a lot of mini skirts. I feel like that's all they wear is like mini skirts.
Henleys.
Those
like mini skirts with like the ruffles.
Mm-hmm.
Very into it.
Yeah.
The like Louis bags, the Louis Vuitton bags that were the white ones with the multicolor.
Yes. I remember wanting one of those so bad. Did you have one?
Same. I did not. I wish, but I did not. I loved that one, and I loved back in the day they also had the it looked like cherry blossoms, like the brown Louis Vuitton bag.
Yeah.
I used to covet that as a child, but
those were classy.
I digress. But yeah, the plastics.
I love how they all have different personalities. Like
we have Regina George, the queen bee.
Everyone loves her. Like everyone wants to get punched in the face.
Yes.
You know.
But then there's Gretchen Wieners,
mm-hmm.
who is like the second in command.
Her father invented toaster strudel.
Yes. And Karen Smith, who is the dumb one.
Yeah. But lovable.
Lovable, dumb, has ESPN, maybe in love with her second cousin. I love that line in the Halloween party when she's like talking to Gretchen and she's like, oh my God, I'm going to talk to him. And he's such a good kisser. And she's like, it's your second cousin. And she's like, so yeah. Or first cousin.
Yeah.
Whatever one. Is it the first cousin?
I don't know. But
Whatever.
Either way, it's like, girl, what are you doing?
And I love how she like takes a beat though. And then she's like, I'm going to talk to him.
Or like when Katie's like, Karen, you're not dumb. Like, I'm sorry she said that to you or something. She's like, no, actually I am. Like,
no, she's the most free. Karen Smith is just free.
She is, yeah.
Speaking of characters, one of my favorite characters is definitely Damien.
I love Damien.
Arguably the most free.
He's hilarious.
Danny DeVito, I'm a big fan of your work.
Yeah, when he chases that girl.
I quote that on a weekly basis.
Oh, man, he has a lot of lines too, I think, that are quotable. I want my pink shirt back. Like,
yeah, she doesn't even go here.
She doesn't go here. Like,
cue the theme song.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy that like we're like we don't really watch Mean Girls a lot?
It's part of our theme song. Yeah.
But we do quote Damien from Mean Girls a lot.
A lot. Like too much. Like every day. You go, Glenn Coco. I say to myself in the mirror.
None for you, Gretchen Wieners.
None for you.
I also say to myself in the mirror. Yeah, so like Wednesdays, they wear pink. They have like this whole laws of feminism girl code.
Yeah.
Hubbub.
Right.
Iconic. And also a big like fan of Mean Girls and the Plastics is Mariah Carey, which is one of my Roman empires.
Sense. I feel like she would be at that table. Probably.
Oh,
like she would have her
100%.
own. She would be Regina George.
I mean, obsessed.
Yeah.
That song.
Yeah.
You're so obsessed with me. It's Regina George.
Did she do the dance?
I don't believe so. Are you thinking of the Thank You Next Ariana Grande music video where they recreate Mean Girls?
Maybe. But maybe I'm just seeing Mariah Carey in like a holiday outfit.
I'm not sure, but I know Mariah Carey loves Mean Girls. And I know there's a clip of her, I believe, talking to like Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
When they were on American Idol.
Yes. Yes.
Explaining Mean Girls and being like, you wouldn't understand. This is a quote from Mean Girls.
And then Nicki Minaj was like, yes, I do understand.
I want to lose 3 pounds.
I know how you can.
It's a quote from Mean Girls. If you knew Mean Girls, you would know.
I do know Mean Girls.
Okay, who says I want to lose 3 pounds? Which character?
Not Lindsay.
Yeah.
The other one with the blonde hair.
What's her name?
You know something?
I just want to know.
It's just like, it's something I think about oddly often. It's Mariah Carey's love for Mean Girls.
I love it.
Yeah, that's who, like, this movie stood the test of time for the most, probably. It's really Mariah Carey's film now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. She has good taste.
Truly. What else?
There's so much that happens.
There is. I'm truly fascinated by the psychology of Mean Girls a little more than
Than the plot?
than the plot.
Because we all know the plot of Mean Girls.
We
or we
truly
should.
do.
Like,
Or maybe we could, if you don't mind giving us the synopsis.
the synopsis.
So we can just go off.
All right, yeah.
Because I definitely, I don't know about you, I want to talk about the psychology a little bit more, but I also really want to talk about the talent show scene.
Yes. One of my favorite scenes. All right. Cady Heron is a hit with the Plastics, the A-list girl clique at her new school, until she makes the mistake of falling for Aaron Samuels, the ex-boyfriend of Alpha Plastic Regina George. I don't know, that's what IMDb says. I mean, it leaves a lot out, but I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the main point, but
Pretty much. I'm so curious, what is the Google's plot? Those are usually like the most wrong. I would say that's right.
Yeah.
Usually Google's synopsis, like plot descriptions, like Cady Heron is a girl until she becomes plastic.
Oh my God, you were right. Hold on. Teenage Cady Heron, Lindsay Lohan, was educated in Africa by her scientist parents. Oh my God, that sounds really dumb. Like, they were researchers.
Yes.
Her scientist parents. When her family moves to the suburbs of Illinois, Cady finally gets to experience public school and gets a quick primer on the cruel, tacit laws of popularity that divide her fellow students into tightly knit cliques. She unwittingly finds herself in the good graces of an elite group of cool students dubbed the Plastics, but Cady soon realizes how her shallow group of new friends earned this nickname. Is this like AI? Like, is this like, you know, did someone write this, or is this... It just, some of the wording.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It feels like AI. I've dabbled in that to write our YouTube titles, because that's my like least favorite job in the world.
Yeah. Titles are hard.
So hard. Our YouTube titles are hard. Like, I find podcast titles very easy, not to get too behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But yeah, AI's wild though.
Yeah.
They'll put up some crazy things. Like, sometimes I'll type in like the movie we're doing and, you know, something related, and they'll take, basically they'll be like, if they were doing Mean Girls, like for a title, they'd be like, Lindsay Lohan sits down with Late to the Party Pod to discuss like the wild and dramatic Mean Girls. And I'm like, I did not say this.
The wild and dramatic. Yeah, yeah.
We did not interview Lindsay Lohan. Would love
Or
to.
did we? No.
But did not.
I know. I wish.
The lies.
Yeah.
But, you know, if her hair was bigger and full of secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mean Girls. Everyone knows Mean Girls.
Everyone knows Mean Girls. I know. I feel like it's kind of silly to maybe get too into the plot because there's so many little things, but
yeah. I mean, you know, it's just Cady. It's a typical teen girl who loses herself when she meets some mean girls.
Yeah.
And then she turns into a mean girl herself.
Mm-hmm. But then she realizes it's not worth it.
No, and then she breaks the spring fling tiara into bits and hands it out to everyone.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Our queen.
And turns back into a nice girl.
Yeah.
But
that's how it's done.
And that's on that.
I'm interested in the psychology though, Nick. Like, tell me more about this. Like,
so to quote the special features on the Steelbook, they call it like the politics of girl world. And you know, we were talking about it's based on Bees and Wannabes, which came out in 2002, and it's a nonfiction work just about, let me see. So it's a book for parents by Rosalind Wiseman, and it focuses on the ways in which girls in high schools form cliques and on patterns of aggressive teenage girl behavior and how to deal with them. We were talking about Tina Fey, like opening up and saying she was a mean girl. She says that was a disease that had to be conquered. It's another coping mechanism. It's a bad coping mechanism. But when you feel less than in high school, everyone feels like less than everyone else for different reasons. In your mind, it's a way of leveling the playing field. Though, of course, it's not. Saying something terrible about someone else does not actually level the playing field.
Yeah, like the burn book they use. It's not like... You're not really lifting yourself up if you're putting others down.
Truly, I think like I remember being a little, like, not a little kid, but a young girl when this movie came out and being like, oh my God, with like my friends being like, let's create a burn book.
Yeah.
And like,
took the wrong message.
Truly as like a 9-year-old, I was like, plastics are great.
Yeah, I think though that makes, like, when you're younger, though, you're not gonna probably tap into all those nuances and be like taking away that message. Probably you're like, ooh, the plastics, yeah, they're really cool. Like, bet, like, I want to be in that, you know?
Yeah, because they're cute
in the dance. Yeah,
they have the cute outfits and the mini skirts.
that's all that mattered.
But I remember being a kid. It was kind of before my mind was so, because I understand why teenage girls would write a burn book.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I totally get that. And I get the idea of gossip. But it's so funny when you are a young girl, though. Like, I remember with my friends trying to write a burn book and being like, I don't have anything mean to say. Because it is your insecurities kind of projected out.
Yeah.
Or being mean is really just like a thing that it's like a learned skill. It is a coping mechanism. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't think we're inherently like mean spirited. I think it's so. Just, yeah, it's a projection out into the
learned
world.
Behavior. Yeah.
And it's a way that, like, I think people think that they can build themselves up.
It's yeah, I definitely think it's probably coping. Yeah. But to cover up for insecurities, for sure.
Yeah, definitely, like now as an adult, I mean, when do you ever have the urge as an adult to put something in a burn book?
Oh, a burn book? No. That sounds fun, though, in a way. Like, no.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah. No.
The opposite of love is definitely indifference, because I feel like I would just be like, you ugly. That's all I could say. I don't know.
Ugly. I could just say, UGLY, you ain't got no alibi. Just tell them to their face.
Or, yeah, like, you look nasty, you act nasty.
Yeah.
That's my burn book.
Yeah. I mean, like, who, you're like, what did she say? Like, this girl's the nastiest skank, like,
fugly slut
you've ever seen.
See, I don't feel that like that.
Yeah, I'm not that passionate about anyone, like, to feel that, like, negativity, like, yeah. I don't know.
Like, you ugly, your mom's ugly. That's my, like, burn book.
I'm trying to think if I've ever felt that way about anyone, though, to write a burn book. Because, like, okay, you were talking about your burn book, like, with your friends. Like, you were struggling to even find mean things to say. So, I don't know.
It's hard, but I'm sure as a teenager, it's so much
It'd probably
easier.
be a lot. I was going to say, like, as a teenager, I think it'd be a lot easier. You're coming from a different place, you know. But, yeah, I don't think I can't think of anyone or any reason to have a burn book right now.
No.
If anything, I'd be looking at myself. I'd be looking at the man in the mirror and think of things I want to burn about, you know, like things about myself that I'd like to change. Maybe, like,
it's so
you
funny.
fuckless. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, no, that's like so funny how, like, I think we're two people that, and you know, I've like probably been a meaner girl in the past, but we're two people that I think a lot of young people feel this way too. It's like some people do things outwardly and some people do things inwardly. And I think it's like so much easier for me to be very mean to myself than to be mean to other people.
Yeah.
But that's also a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Because I've been the opposite way. When I was younger, I was mean to other people, thinking less of myself. But it's the same bad feelings. It's just how you project it. Internal or external.
Yeah.
Womp, womp.
I know. I'm like, oh.
But yeah, I do like what it says about teaching young girls the wrong things.
Yeah.
And I do think like the plastics or that like the Amy Poehler cool mom character is teaching all of her daughters the wrong things. And she was probably taught the wrong things. And, you know, all the plastics are really told to like prioritize the wrong things. And so I think that's interesting. And like Janice Ian being really hurt and hating Regina and wanting this revenge because Regina called her a lesbian.
Yeah, which also is so interesting because it's like, who cares? Or like, especially nowadays, like,
well, that's the 2024 talking.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, but like, I mean, I guess the biggest thing is your friend rejected you, probably, and also social. Like you're not allowed to have any other friend. Like they're, you know, it's pretty messed up. Like just that the social rejection of it all, I think, is a big deal.
Well, on the Janice Ian tip, I didn't pick up on this until this viewing. Like the whole, why are you so obsessed with me? Like the Regina calling Janice a lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Janice and Regina were best friends. And then Regina got a boyfriend and never hung out with her. So she was like, why aren't you hanging out with me?
Yeah, it was like a valid like response. And then she was like, you must be gay.
I had that happen to me in high school.
Someone thought you were gay? Or you thought that...
No, like I was best friends with this girl. And then all of a sudden she just ghosted me. And I called her one time and I was like, we used to be best friends. You know, like I don't understand. And then the next moment when I go to school, everyone's like, Nikki's a lesbian.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
It's Nikki, you never
because
told
she's
me.
like, and because I was so ashamed and embarrassed. And it was only because I like tried to be like, make up a friendship. And she like flipped it and reversed it on me. So I get it.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy. They must have seen Mean Girls. Like, that's like, dude, that's, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
but they
okay.
got pregnant at 17. So
yeah. Who's the real winner?
I don't know. Who is actually to say? They might have a really rewarding life.
Nikki, get that burn book out.
No, I don't have any hard feelings.
Just
But
kidding. It
it did like, I understand Janice Ian from a different perspective. Now, even without that happening to me,
Yeah.
it is just like so silly as an adult watching this and being like, oh, Regina's the one who's insecure. Regina's probably gay too. Like, did you see that she like started playing lacrosse? Like,
Yeah.
lesbian.
Oh, you're like Kristen Wiig in the Bridesmaids. Who takes another woman to Paris? Lesbian.
And the deleted scene of Bridesmaids, not to get too in the weeds though, when they are riding their bikes through Paris, that gives couple energy. Didn't invite the homies, the other bridesmaids, just them two.
Just
on a
them
bike.
two.
What else? Or like Cady playing dumb for Aaron Samuels.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Like, I guess I get like maybe once being like, oh, I don't get this. Like, you know, but then she really takes it too far and dumbs herself down. Like, she's failing. Like, you don't have to do all that. Like, I don't know.
She's so good at math.
And that's her thing. Yeah, she should be tutoring him is what she should have thought of. Is like, oh, hey, I know what I'm doing.
But it's that whole psychology because we're taught on some level to be like the damsel in distress.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's not the terminology, like I think we still feel that to some degree.
Maybe to some degree, yeah. I don't like that though. I don't know.
Either. Also, the mathletes, like Kevin G has great raps. Sounds like a fun hang.
He does, yeah.
Justice for Kevin G.
Kevin G. I love his rap. Like, it's the best. Like, he raps about being a mathlete.
I love when he just, like, rips his shirt.
Uh-huh.
Quality content. Also, is growing up realizing, like, Amy Poehler and Tim Meadows completely steal the show.
They do. Oh, my gosh. And there's definitely a romance happening behind the scenes with them. Like, at least a flirtation.
Or, Tina Fey and Tim Meadows?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Tim Meadows... Like, I think line for every single line he says is like laugh out loud funny.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite being, I did not leave the South Side for this. And grabs his bat.
Yeah. I forget that he has to like go into the jungle basically of the school and is like.
Just Law and Order.
Law and Order with his bat. Yeah.
Yes. No, I love Tim Meadows. Also, wild fun fact. Tina Fey said she based Aaron Samuels off of Jimmy Fallon.
Really? You know, he kind of looks like him, like a lot, like a young Jimmy Fallon with that hair. Like, that's wild. So was she in love with Jimmy Fallon?
Maybe, but also I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, not now, but I get it.
Yeah. He was cute back in the day.
He was so cute. My 2017, like, binge watching of, like, old SNLs. Jimmy Fallon on SNL back in the day, it was so cute.
I wonder if she's also trying to say he's bad at math. She's
Maybe.
like, that boy's dumb, but he's cute.
Dumb but cute. I hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so. But I love that little tidbit. Ooh, can we talk about the talent show?
Yes, the talent show.
The best part of the movie, not just the Jingle Bell Rock. That is iconic, and that's like an iconic image of Mean Girls. But the talent show is just the best part of the movie, in my opinion.
In itself, like Amy Poehler, just like with the video camera going down the
Going full Kris Jenner. You're doing amazing, sweetie.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think of the talent show scene?
I enjoy it. I mean, it's hilarious. I love the Kevin G of it. I think that's probably the best part. But yeah, it kind of solidifies Cady in that plastic role, you know, because she's trying to like get the army of skanks, I guess, out from under Regina's thumb. But like, yeah. I like it. I like how Gretchen kicks the stereo into what's his
Jason's
face. Yeah,
so good. I love Damien singing "Beautiful" by Christina Aguilera.
Oh yeah.
And I love his just like heartfelt version, but then also when the guy throws a shoe at him, and then like a G, Damien throws it back, and then it's like, "Don't you bring me down today."
It's great. Yeah,
his favorite. I love that.
I love Damien. He's got the best energy. He might be my favorite character.
Yeah, or
at least one of them. Yeah.
Agreed. I don't know. I think Damien is such a good character. And also hearing about the actor, is his name Daniel Francesi? But anyways, the guy who played Damien in real life in 2014, like penned a letter to Damien and then came out as gay. And
oh, wow.
You know, I don't know. I think that Damien being himself throughout the whole entire film is really like just heartwarming.
I was going to say, I think he's the only character that's truly himself and doesn't put on like a mask or anything. He's just, this is who I am. So either you like me or you hate me, like whatever.
He's free.
He's
like out of the matrix.
Yeah.
Because like I know we've been talking a lot about girlhood or teenage girlhood, but guys have to, you know, fall in line too.
Yeah. There's rules. There's all these rules. Mm-hmm. And there's social rules just in general. Like being part of the mathletes, that's social suicide, you know, as Damien says. Like there's you know, but he's also the head of like the student activities board, which I remember thinking like in my high school thinking that was lame to be involved in things like that. But I don't know.
What I found growing up though, I think that even then I used to see like people that I knew that were quote unquote popular, but did quote unquote unpopular things. Mm-hmm. Like, and I try to tell this to myself even now, but doing the things you like or enjoy and you being cool makes those activities inherently cool.
Right.
So like Damien just being himself is actually like way cooler and not dictating his whole life. Even though he says for Cady it's social suicide.
Yeah.
For him to be so free that he's just like, fuck it. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. You know, whatever.
I love that. And I love when Cady does become one of the mathletes because that's something she's good at. Like
it's something she likes.
She loves math. Like, you know, why not lean into that more? Yeah, like we can be dynamic people. You don't have to be
one thing. Women in STEM, you know?
Women in STEM. That's what this movie's about.
I think so.
Anything else? I'm trying to think what else. I liked like the scene towards the end when like Tina Fey's like doing like a group therapy session with all the girls.
Oh yeah, where they're doing the fall tests.
I like the energy she's bringing and
the whole monologue that she does about what does she say? It's the one where it's like we have to stop calling each other like sluts and whores. Yeah. And basically the message of the movie. Like she like relays it and encapsulates it perfectly in a monologue.
I like it. I like the message.
Definitely. But also the Jingle Bell Rock dance, to go back to the talent show. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, it's a slay. I also think it starts off great. I love when Gretchen kicks the boombox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what do you love about the talent show?
Well, I love Damien. Damien's my favorite part.
He's the best.
I think he's hilarious. And also, I love, call me a sucker, but I love when the boombox stops and Lindsay Lohan gets to sing.
Talking about Lindsay and her musical career.
I know. I really, you know, I know I make fun of it a lot. Like I sing like jokingly, da-da-da-father, you know, like to myself all the time. Yeah. You know, I like make fun of her music career a little bit in my head, you know. Rumors isn't necessarily like, as it's not the Stars Are Blind, but it could be.
Well, I don't know. I think it's up there.
It's good. I just think in reverence. I think we haven't gotten there as a culture yet.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I would love it. I do think she's talented. I also love Ultimate from Freaky Friday.
Yes.
That's a bop. I don't know. I just love a musical moment, and it's so sweet.
Same. Yeah. I love when she starts singing and then everyone else starts singing. It's the perfect remedy to the situation.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also love how the Jingle Bell Rock just starts off normal and they clap their thighs and drop it low.
Oh my God.
And just to see the look on the guy who plays Katie's dad's face.
He's like,
it's gold.
Her mom too. They're both just like, what is going on up there?
But yeah, no, it's comedy gold. A lot of scenes in Mean Girls are comedy gold.
I was gonna say a lot of scenes. Yeah.
I can't wait for the Renaissance. I know in past in recent years it's been not as cool to like Tina Fey.
Yeah.
But I will say she's hilarious, and I even low key Tonight Show aside love older Jimmy Fallon and Tim Meadows. I want him to get all his flowers. So
Yeah. No, they're all Amy Poehler.
so good. But just from that SNL cast.
That era. Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
I feel like that was one of the peak times of SNL.
I think so.
I miss SNL. Good SNL.
Same.
You know?
I mean, I guess you could argue that every SNL is people think it's bad at the time and then has a different life later on.
Yeah.
But we did grow up in prime time for SNL, which we talked about in our Bridesmaids episode.
Right. Yeah, because Kristen Wiig and Maya Rudolph.
And Andy Samberg and Jason Sudeikis.
It's a golden age.
Yeah, The Lonely Island was our growing up SNL.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. It's whatever you grow up with is going to be sentimental, possibly.
True. However, in my SNL rewatch a couple years ago, I will say late 90s, Will Ferrell, Sherry O'Terry.
Yes.
Even Anna Gasteyer, who plays
the
Katie's mom.
Yeah.
And that's definitely before our time. Yeah. But so funny. It's, in my opinion, SNL's sweet spot is 98. Even though maybe it's awkward, but I'm a fan of Night at the Roxbury. Whatever. Judge me. I like Chris Kattan. I think he's funny.
I love Chris Kattan.
Sue me. 98 to maybe 2012 are the really SNL sweet spots for me.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
That's a long time, actually. Yeah.
So, you go, Lorne Michaels.
You go. I know.
For you, Lorne Michaels.
Yeah, he produced this movie.
He did, which doesn't miss.
Mm-mm.
It's Pat, doesn't miss.
A Lorne Michaels production always hits.
Always.
Yeah.
Coneheads.
I've never seen Coneheads.
I remember it always being on TV as a kid.
I was always too disturbed by the cover, the cover art, to want to watch.
Truly. I remember being afraid, but
yeah. I'm still low-key afraid.
Oh my God. SNL movies are great though. MacGruber.
Oh, MacGruber.
MacGruber. Yeah, no.
I know.
What's with sidetrack? I love SNL.
I know.
Stuff.
Go on.
I know we were talking about Jingle Bell Rock, and I don't know what came over me, but that's all I had to say about Jingle Bell Rock. What are your thoughts on slutty Christmas attire or slutty Halloween attire? I love how I have a microphone and I just made a microphone face.
I don't know. Okay, Christmas attire I don't think is necessary. Halloween attire I also don't think is super necessary, but do what you want. And I only mean they making everything sexy is a little much. A sexy
Bert and Ernie.
I'm no.
Mario and Luigi.
Sexy Mario. No. That
Big
one is
Bird.
funny. No, something's wrong with that. Who wants to be sexy Big Bird? No offense. Someone out there's gonna hear this
It's
and be
sick world. They're they write a 1-star review. They're they made fun of sexy Big Bird.
Well, I know it's there, but I just don't understand it. I get maybe it is freeing to 180 or just dress like a slut, as they say in the movie. There's nothing wrong with dressing like a slut if you want to. I just don't know. I also wonder if there's more pressure on females to do that other than guys. I think I have seen some costumes for men that are, maybe similar nowadays, but not I feel it's different. There's a off balance. I'm oh, so the ladies are almost naked, but the guys aren't? Like,
They don't get the same reward. I think like females and males at this point in time, like kind of judge a Halloween costume on its sexiness. Like if you're a female and you expect everyone to wear a slutty quote unquote costume, and if you're a male you also expect that out of a female. If you're a male or you're female, your expectations of male costumes are like you could care
pretty
less.
low. Yeah,
Like
men need
really.
to step it up with their Halloween costumes.
Truly. It's truly like, not to be like all feminism, but it's like that photo of like Beyonce and Ed Sheeran performing together, and it's like Beyonce in this beautiful gown and Ed Sheeran in like jeans and a t-shirt. I don't know. It's fucked up, Brie. It's a sick world we're living in.
World.
Yes. I did not leave the South Side for this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't get it. Especially like the unnecessary ones. Like I think some of it is comedy at this point.
Yes.
But
it should be.
Yeah.
I think only sexy costumes if it's like funny.
Yeah, I agree. Like it's got like make it funny. I feel like I would be like Cady though. I'd go full like corpse bride, looking like scary, not sexy at all. I don't think I've ever worn a sexy Halloween costume, and I don't know if I ever will, unless it's sexy Bert and Ernie, because that sounds so funny.
Sounds great. I don't think I have either. For what it's worth, I don't think I have either. I mean, I think I've worn like quote unquote sexy costumes, but I
Nothing
think
very scandalous though, if you think about it.
No, I also think like I'm maybe too self-aware for my own good. Like I've never like hoisted my boobs up and like really like leaned in because I was like, oh no, I'm gonna look like a kid, like a prostitute. So like let me be sexy like in a different way. Like I'm gonna go like a Mia Wallace from Pulp Fiction, or like I don't know, some costumes that are like borderline sexy, but like not super sexy.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, I'm just going to look like a child.
Ah,
Maybe. That's kind of my like thought.
gotcha.
But also I can wear a lot of, I mean, you probably know too, like being like smaller ladies.
Yeah. Yeah. There's not much like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. Like
You can wear a really short skirt and something that on someone else a little more like, with the body yada yada,
like tall,
like, tall, and if they like look like Megan Thee Stallion, it's a little harder. Like, who are you kidding at a certain point? Is kind of my like thought always when I was going out and Halloweening. But
that makes sense.
Who knows? Maybe I'll be sexy Bert and Ernie next year.
Bert and Ernie do that's
Mario
exciting.
and Luigi.
Wow, I like this.
Or costume changes. We'll see.
Yeah. Either one.
Sexy Elmo.
I'm open to it. Oh, like if it's a funny one, I don't know. They kind of crack me up because I'm like, who thinks of this?
Bring it back. Yeah, you know what? I've convinced myself. I know we're talking, but I've convinced myself.
Nikki, this Halloween, you're gonna be like doing all these costume changes. Or having like
this Halloween, I'm gonna be sexy,
sexy Big Bird.
Or a mouse.
Duh. Yeah. I actually liked the mouse because it's at least original. I think that's my thing with Halloween costumes. It's like, I guess it doesn't really matter at the end of the day, but I think it's more fun to wear something original. So like, if you're going to make it sexy, why not be a sexy mouse, I guess? Because it's different. Like, duh. Like, they're mouse ears. What else would she be, I get it.
Yeah.
She was going for something.
Yeah. I also like love how, hers isn't as like Karen's outfit's not as contrived. Like, she's like, yeah, the assignment's to dress like a slut and put on a mask, like some ears. Like, she's not like Regina with this whole, like get up.
Yeah.
She's like, I know what this is. I'm going to wear like a literal nightie.
Yeah. I dug it. I like Karen.
For sure.
Yeah.
She's honest with herself. She, like Damien, is very free because they just kind of like lean in.
Yeah, they're like the freest ones, for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But
wow. So what have we learned?
Nothing. We like circled right back around. I love how this conversation started with like a feminist slant.
Oh, now.
And then we were like, no, I think we'll be sluts and like plastics.
Yeah. We'll create our own burn books.
Yes.
Find someone to write about, to burn in there.
We'll buy some drunk elephant with the 12-year-olds.
Perfect. We took away the right message, I think.
No, but it is nice not to be a teen girl anymore. We'll say hell is a teenage girl.
It's so true. You go through so much. Too much.
I mean, I do really relate to, speaking back to TikTok. Have you seen those like pretty much memes now of like I'm a 23-year-old teenage girl.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen memes
Like,
like
I
that.
feel like that,
Yeah,
but I'm so glad I'm not a teenage girl.
same. There's too much, even and especially nowadays. I feel like I'd be so much more self-conscious
Definitely.
than I was.
Also, can I say something else about the Mean Girls musical?
Yeah.
So the marketing for it is not your mom's Mean Girls.
Oh, wait. Does that mean like if you were into Mean Girls, you have to be a mom? Because
Well, they're implying
I'm not old
that
enough to be a
millennials
mom.
are old. I would say it's probably. We watched Mean Girls. We were still in elementary school. Like, I know people our age technically can be moms.
Yeah.
But
Like,
I'm like-
physically, is it possible?
Yes.
Sure.
I'm like, what's her name? Was it Alana in Broad City? Where it's like 27. I can't be a 27-year-old, like.
I
don't
can't be a
know.
teen mom.
A teen mom.
Yeah.
27 or something. But for most people, maybe they're moms.
Yeah.
Young moms. But I think this is a real, like, dig at, like, elder millennials.
Yeah, kind of.
And I think they should riot in the streets. So if you were born between the years of, like, 1983 and, like, 1990, I think you should be at your movie theater with a pitchfork. Because they're coming for you.
Yeah.
It's a direct threat.
It's a direct threat.
And I would take it personally.
I would too. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they were like, if you were in high school during the original Mean Girls, you're
Like,
old
you
as
old.
fuck.
That's what they're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah. That is kind of rude.
Yes. So, I'm not saying to commit crime.
I'm confused about that though, because who are you marketing to then? Are you marketing to a younger generation? Or are you marketing to the parents? Or are you marketing to the parents because they're going to take the kids also? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is it who is this for?
Maybe it is for elder millennials because they would have 10 to 12-year-old girls who are like, let's go to Sephora and buy Drunk Elephant and watch Mean Girls the musical.
Yeah, maybe.
It's convoluted, but they don't have any, like, Club Louie Lou's. So
That's so sad.
they got to go see Mean Girls the musical, you know?
Right. Yeah. That's all they got.
That's all they got. They got to put retinol on their face.
Man.
Man, that breaks. I'm like, what? Their skin barrier.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is this like the facial version of JoJo Siwa's ponytail making
Oh my
her have
God.
a receding hairline?
Oh, poor JoJo.
Also, Ken, we talk about the soundtrack really, really quick.
Yes. Yes.
Perfect soundtrack. Anytime Blondie plays on a soundtrack, it serves cunt.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the song like of the movie, basically Overdrive by Katie Rose, is such like a Courtney Love whole light vibe, which I love.
I love it. This soundtrack, it's got everything. Khalees Milkshake. I love that.
La, la,
La,
la,
la, la.
I love how they play Pass That Dutch at least 2 times
Like,
in the movie.
Yeah, maybe more. I don't know. It feels like throughout the movie. That's almost like the anthem.
That's your anthem.
That's my anthem. Yeah.
How did that feel to know, like, your anthem is also the anthem of Mean Girls?
Pretty powerful.
It blows my mind that Overdrive song. So I guess when it was written, it was written by this girl named Katie Rose, who kind of looks like Avril Lavigne, and her dad when she was 13.
Oh, okay.
And it is a wild song if you listen to the lyrics.
I know. I'm like, let me look at these lyrics.
Where she's sitting in Jane Mansfield's car, which is like a very dark lyric, especially for a 13-year-old to be singing.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'll lick the blood right off your street. And she's like 13. Writing this with her dad. It blows my mind.
Oh my God.
But
Hold
I
up.
live for it.
Let me look up these lyrics. She said, I need to take a shower when I look at you. That's okay. This is why. Is she wrote this with her dad?
Yeah, when she was 13.
Huh. Yeah. I
Doesn't
see
she
what you're
say
saying, the
she's
blood.
borderline?
I'm cherry cola. I'm candy. I'm California. My mind's all screwed up. Yeah. Did Lana Del Rey look at this for reference?
Was this Lana Del Rey?
Was this her? You know what? Maybe it was.
I don't know. It's
Katie Rose. It's Sparkle,
Lizzie
Jump Rope
Grant.
Queen. It could be.
Those lyrics are a little depraved to be by a 13-year-old girl, but I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. What a time.
What a time to be alive. Yeah. Huh. Wow. When you peel back the layers.
Right. I do think it's like funny to think about, though, this song who like it like kind of encapsulates, because it does sound like Courtney Love, like Riot Girl light. But it sounds like that, and it's a perfect song for Mean Girls. But it's also like she's a young teenage girl singing a song with lyrics about like being borderline and like referencing Jane Mansfield.
Yeah,
and like,
so like hell is a teenage girl's kind of a theme, like
for sure.
Yeah,
And definitely like thinking about stuff that's
we shouldn't be thinking
we
about.
shouldn't be thinking about.
Yeah,
But girls do. Girls grow up way faster, and Mean Girls is a really like interesting adaptation of a book.
for the parents, like on how to handle these behaviors with teen girls.
Basically psychotic borderline, to quote that song, borderline psychotic behaviors of teenage girls.
That's wild.
But it does it so well, and it does it with like the SNL flair.
Yeah, I'm so glad it has the flair, you know?
So glad.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm trying to think what else as far as the soundtracks.
The only miss is God is a DJ.
What? Wait, what?
There's a Pink song in it called God is a DJ.
Wait, really? A Pink song?
Yeah, God is a DJ. Life is a dance floor.
Whoa.
Like Fetch, I do remember like 2003, 2004, they tried to make that song happen, and it did not.
I don't remember this song at all. That's wild. But yeah, there's a couple Blondie songs, right? Or no?
Definitely rip her to shreds.
Yeah.
Oh, the Donna's cover of Dancing with Myself.
Yes, I really liked that cover. I mean, I like that song anyway, but I like that it's the Donnas.
I do too. The Donnas were also on the Freaky Friday soundtrack, which is also a great soundtrack.
They know what's up.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still, I don't know why I'm like floored. God is a DJ by Pink. Like, how did I miss that? I'm like, what even is this song? I thought I knew Pink's like.
Should this like send us out after we say our goodbyes?
I don't know. I'm like, what? I thought I knew like her like what's the word?
Her
like,
discography?
Her discography. Yeah, but clearly I missed something.
You did not miss any.
Did we all try to erase this like collectively as a society?
I think so. I think like afterwards we got Men in Black like erased.
Yeah. For sure. And we'll probably get, this conversation will be erased as well. No one will be able to hear this part of the podcast.
If you edit it that way, then that's actually true. You have that power, Brie.
I do. Yeah.
You're the Men in Black with the flashlight.
It's true.
You could just censor us all out. Like, make it sound like we're cussing.
That's me. I loved it. I did that on one of our episodes. It was fun.
Well.
Anyway.
Yeah, what
else to say about Mean Girls?
Yeah, take the floor, Brie. Because, God is a DJ and life is a dance floor.
Life is a dance floor. I feel like I love this movie a lot. And, like, Lindsay kills it. Everyone kills it. Like, the cast is perfect.
Do you think that's why it's so, like, this past year, they had a Walmart ad. I believe it was Walmart.
Oh, yeah.
But an ad with the Mean Girls cast, and it kind of like bummed me out a little bit. I'm not one of those people that really like has like a hankering or a want for seeing the cast of my like favorite films to always come together as they're older.
Yeah, that always bums me out too, because I'm like, oh, they're older. Like, I don't know, like this, not just because they're older, but it makes you think about like life and how short it is and how we're all one step closer to death.
Yeah, also it's like that they have to like have a shoot with, whatever magazine and pretend like they're best friends. It's like very awkward to me.
Yeah.
Or like they have to do interviews about it. Like, if they're in the after the Walmart ads or
now people
whatever
are asking
ads.
a lot of questions. Oh, and why wasn't like Rachel McAdams in the ad? And
Lindsay Lohan, don't you just love Amanda Seyfried? Haven't you talked all these years? And it kind of like puts weird words in their mouths. And like they made this movie when they were teens. And you can have a good time with your castmate and not be like besties 20 years later. That's
true.
Normal.
Yeah. It just feels forced.
Yeah, it's a weird expectation.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, get that shmoney though.
Truly. And also people are eating it up like hotcakes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, like, fillers. I'm tired of seeing, like, celebrities nowadays with, like, all these fillers in their face. Sorry. I'm just thinking back to Jimmy Fallon. I saw a car commercial.
No.
Bless him.
Bless him.
Actually, I pray for Jimmy Fallon. Like, nothing's wrong with him. I just pray for him a lot.
Yeah.
But
Good. He was almost family.
he was. I think about him often.
Yeah. Our almost uncle.
Yes. But I don't know. What was it? What were you saying?
I don't know. You were asking me something, and that's how we got on the commercial. But
I mean, I guess my question was, why do we keep going back to the well?
Oh, okay. Like, why? Like, in general, or like rewatching the movie, or just like, why are we pulling from the movie still?
I guess, what is our need to have reunions? Is maybe a better question.
Reunions. I don't know. I really don't know. I question that. Like, I think about this because on YouTube, I get these like suggestions, and it's like, oh, the cast of whatever have gotten back together. Like or like, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool in a way, but it's also like, it's cooler for them, I think, if you were in the project to maybe revisit, because I don't know how I feel about it.
It gives me the ick.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I do love this cast. I think we were just talking about this cast, and
yeah.
I do love that Lindsay Lohan is back, and
she's the star.
Yeah, she's always going to be a star.
Mm-hmm.
She's just one of those people.
Yeah.
And we're always rooting for her. I think, like,
Always.
collectively, we know deep down, like,
she deserves so much.
And as Cady, like, in Cady and all of her other, like, early roles, she's just so alive.
Yeah.
As a performer. I
don't know. Have you seen the recent interview she had where she talks about, like, her looks in different films and in Mean Girls, how, like, they did her hair differently, and I don't know. It's just like the way she talks, though. She seems like so proud of like her work and stuff, and it seems like she's like glowing. And I really hope she's, doing well.
She should.
She's come a long ways.
Yeah, I love Lindsay Lohan.
Yeah,
but yeah, I do love this whole cast. I love Mean Girls.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the message is like, it's basically just saying like, be yourself.
Yeah, you don't have to tear others down. You don't have to be a mean girl.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah.
Let's all hold hands and sing Kumbaya now.
We're like, are we like the one girl when they have the meeting in the gym where she's like, can't we just all be friends like we were back in the day? And Damien's like, she doesn't even go here.
That was so funny.
We don't have to go that far, but,
Yeah.
Maybe don't be nasty.
Just don't be nasty.
Also, if you're not a teenage girl, don't be nasty. You get the pass.
Yeah.
But, like, once you turn 20, you gotta,
get yourself together. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Go to therapy. Better help.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, this we sponsor. No. Open to it.
Open, yeah, definitely. I use BetterHelp, but I mean, it's helped.
I had a bad bleep that out.
Tell me your experience. You're like, no, can't relate to that. Our sponsorship is gone.
I love the interface of BetterHelp.
Only say the things that you can say that are positive.
It was very easy. I love the fact that you can text with your counselor.
You're not getting paid. It's okay.
Oh. Well, sit down. I want to like pivot. I want to not be a mean girl to BetterHelp.
You're not going to put them in your burn book.
Yes.
Yeah.
But if I wanted to have a burn book for me, I'd have a lot.
I know. That's my message too. I took away. I'm like, oh, wow. I'm going to go burn my own book about me.
I do love when she's in the principal's office, Regina George, and they're like, what is this word? And she's like, fugly slut.
And it is her picture. Oh,
very good.
It was smart though.
Rachel McAdams. It's a funny gal.
Yeah.
But
well,
no, is that Mean Girls?
I know. I'm like, what else is there to say? Yeah, is Regina the real victim?
No.
We're all victims. Right?
Of the patriarchy.
Yeah, of the patriarchy.
The male gaze.
Yeah.
But not the male gaze.
Yeah.
Anyways, on that actually, that really is the message.
I think that is the message. Yeah, that's what we've learned.
That's our takeaway, at least.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening.
Rate and review us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you can find us.
Yeah.
Wherever they let you rate and review.
Definitely. And thank you to Hurrdat Media for our lovely artwork, and Grace, our lovely producer, for producing the show. We will see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.